Hi everybody, it's Michelle with Aesthetic Accents, and I'm back with another video. I was just thinking, since the last one was a pouring video, I would kind of show you what I do with the leftover pours. This is the baking mat that I put in the bottom of that baking pan, the silver one. And these are the drippings that come off the painting. And what's nice about these baking mats is that you can just peel those right off. And you end up with these. And I like to save those and place them between these parchment papers so they don't stick to each other, because acrylic likes to stick to each other and you get a mess like that. Can you see that? Yeah, not good. Or it gets wrinkled and stuck like this. So yeah, I just like put the different levels paper down and the different skins that I have, and that's how I store them. So that's one aspect of it, and then I just put it in a Ziploc bag and keep them that way. I hear people putting them into like protective pages, binder, you know, like the sheets that you slip the papers in the binder, with these sheets of parchment paper, and that can work too. Actually, I'm thinking about doing that myself. But that's how you store them. What you do with these things are, there are various blanks that you can buy. They're called bezels. That's what the middle part is. This is a bookmark, and the glass part is a cabachon. You can buy cabachons that fit the bezels. Sometimes you could buy them on kits, so they go together when you get them, or you buy them separately. Or if you run out, or there's a weird size you can't find. I've graduated to resin, and you just pour the resin in. I get this ice resin, and it's in a syringe that has the hardener and the resin, and you just pour it into the mold. You actually pour it into a cup first, and then you mix it around and you wait 5 minutes. Now, if you don't wait 5 minutes, this is what happens. The bubbles don't settle. You get lots of bubbles. One way is, like I said, wait 5 minutes. Another way is, in addition, this is what I do. I just torch it in addition. But, you know, buyer beware, read the packaging. They don't really recommend it, health hazard kind of thing. So that will have to be your judgment on what to do on that. But you don't, you know, touch it. You just kind of go over the top, the heat. You could also use a heat gun. I have both. But yeah, the sad part of this is that the bubbles make it very unclear. So if I were to glue it onto this skin, it's an acrylic skin, you can't really see the image underneath. So this is kind of just a practice to show you what will happen if you don't do it right. Another thing is you get a rim around here, and you'll have to sand it. That's another downfall of this. They're lighter, so some think that there might be less risk of the dreaded silver spots, the bane of our existence. So that's a good thing about these. Plus, you know, the unusual sizes that you can make with them. So here's the skin that I already cut out and have made jewelry with. And like I said, there's different shapes, different bezels you can buy. I get them from Wish app. I get them from AliExpress. I get them from Michael's. Not very often Michael's. I see some, but they don't have very many there. But mostly the Wish, Amazon, and AliExpress. There's a few others that I'll list down below in the description. So be sure to check down there. And I'll put the links of different ones I've ordered from. You could get bronze, you can get wood, all kinds of different ones. Whatever your taste is. It becomes kind of a hobby in itself, collecting all the different ones. I'm part of a couple, actually more than a couple, Facebook groups. So you might check there too, that you can see people's finished work and look at these bezels that are beautiful and find out where they get them from. So what I'm going to do is show you what I do to make one of these. I'm liking this skin right now, so I'll make one of those. So there's different glues, different ways of doing this. So I recommend, you know, I'm going to be one of those weird YouTubers that recommend looking at other videos too, besides mine. Because you got to find what works for you. You know, what works for me might not work for somebody else. And what's not working for me, I won't know a better way unless I look. So I recommend different YouTubers, and I'll try to link a couple of those down below too, if I can find some. There's different glazes. This one's highly recommended in the groups, along with this one. Also, those are for gluing the skin itself to the glass or resin. And then there is this glue that you glue the whole thing to the metal. This adheres better to metal, I've heard. And again, dreaded silver spots. I'm going to use this, and I bought some clamps that you put on the bezels and hold them down so you don't get those. What the silver spots are air bubbles that come up, and they might not come up for months on end. So if you think that you might sell these or give them as gifts, you better beware. Maybe do some practice ones first and kind of see, you know, if they show up later, so you don't get somebody complaining. Also, I've heard that cold weather, extreme temperatures can cause them to pop up too. So here we go. Let's see. I'm thinking I'm going to try this one. And I believe I got this from AliExpress. And here's the glass that comes with it. So what you want to do is clean your glass and make sure it's nice and clean, doesn't have the oils from your fingers on it to adhere better. Some people put alcohol on it. I'm kind of leery about that. Again, the dreaded silver spots, that some of it might resist the glue, because it does work that way in painting with acrylic paint. So this is acrylic paint. So it's just different theories. I haven't tried the diamond glaze yet. So I'm going to do my old standby, since I know how that turns out here. So this is my method of doing it. I just place some of this glaze on here if it comes out. There we go. Well, there we go. I put a good amount. Try not to pour it on because it's going to squeeze out. But I just make sure that gets to the edges. So you don't want the spots. You don't want a spot that's missing the glue. It's going to squeeze out anyway, so you don't have to get too busy. Then what that is a lot of people will, before they put the glue on, will kind of move around the glass piece. like this and try to find what looks best, what's more interesting. I think I'm going to try that. So I'll take the one that has glue on it, put it down there, and you press down and you just kind of move it back and forth. Pretty soon it will resist moving. But this is just to kind of get the glue to squeeze out and cover. And you just grab one of these clamps here and one of these boards. This is a drawing board. You can also use a clipboard. And you just clamp it on. I haven't done this before, as you can tell. I need bigger clamps, but that's what you do with bigger clamps. And that would keep the air bubbles from popping up. If it's further in the skin, too far, like with my little clamps there, what you could do is place it on top of the board. Like so. Whoa, go for a ride there. And you just put something heavy on it. Let's say you do that. And I'll show you what it looks like in the end, because it has to dry. And I usually wait a whole night with it drying, just to make sure, because once you glue it into the bezel itself, it will start pulling away. So you want it good and stuck. But I will show you what it looks like. One of my finished pieces. I happen to have my microphone on. And that's what it looks like. That's on one of my skins. Now, another thing I've discovered is that a lot of these, if you know, a lot of people have a budget that they're working with, and they don't know if it's going to turn out, and they don't want to spend that much money right away. So they get the inexpensive ones, like with the Wish and AliExpress. You could get these for like $5 for $1. So, but keep in mind that you're going to have the nickel or surgical steel, or some kind of metal that's not silver, or, you know, some people might have allergies to it. And that's where, and I'm one of those people. And that's where I found this product here on Amazon. There's different ones, but it's a coating that you paint on the back. I'm going to do that just to show you. You just paint it on like nail polish. Just make sure it's covered all of it that's going to touch your skin. So that might be the sides, that might be the bales, that kind of thing. And you just kind of, you wait, I think it said minimum 5 minutes. Let's see. It doesn't say, but the longer you wait, the better it adheres. And it creates a coating. It will never dry, it will kind of always be goopy, but it's supposed to bond with the metal and create a barrier that protects the metal from you and you from the metal. And then after that time, it comes with these cloths, and you're just going to buff it right off the back and clean your glass, and it will be gorgeous. You won't even tell it's on there. And, you know, I've done this and I haven't had a problem since. So That's good to know. Unless you can afford real silver or real gold, this is the way to go. So that's my first video on this. And as this goes on, once I get more resin and bigger clamps, I'm hopefully going to make another video. So keep tuned and keep checking. And I'll show you what the next step is. So I'll talk to you later. And please like, subscribe, and share. And check back. We have new things coming. Bye.